welcome to the market's mindset. Impatience, it's one of the most common and most destructive traits in trading. And yet, most traders don't even realize how deeply it's sabotaging them. They blame the market, their strategy, or their broker. But the real reason they're not progressing is because they can't wait. Impatience is the silent killer of trading success. It sneaks into your decisions quietly, convincing you that you're just being proactive, when in reality, it's pushing you into trades you shouldn't take, exits you shouldn't make, and frustration you can't escape. So today, let's break down why impatience destroys traders, and more importantly, how to build the kind of patience that leads to real consistency. 1. Impatience starts in the mind, not the chart. Every trader thinks they're reacting to the market, but really, they're reacting to themselves. The urge to enter early, move stops, or take profits too soon isn't coming from the market, it's coming from emotion. When you sit in front of your charts, your brain is wired for action. It's not designed to sit still and do nothing. So when the market moves without you, or your setup is taking too long to form, that inner voice starts whispering, what if it goes without me? What if I miss out? That's impatience. And it's built from fear. Fear of missing out. Fear of being wrong. Fear of watching opportunities slip away. But here's the thing. The market rewards patience and punishes urgency. The trader who can wait for the right setup wins. The trader who can't becomes liquidity for those who can. 2. Impatience makes you trade emotionally, not strategically. Think about your last 5 losing trades. How many of them were part of your actual plan? And how many were the result of frustration, boredom, or just wanting to be in something? That's the cost of impatience. It replaces logic with emotion. You see, trading isn't about how many opportunities you can find, it's about how many good ones you can wait for. When you trade out of boredom, you're no longer trading your edge, you're gambling, your discipline. And that single habit is what keeps most traders stuck in the cycle of inconsistency. Win some, lose more, reset, repeat. 3. Impatience destroys good trades. Impatience doesn't just make you enter bad trades, it also ruins the good ones you do take. How many times have you closed a trade early, only to watch it move exactly where you predicted right after? That's impatience again. It tricks you into thinking you're protecting profit, but really, you're cutting your own edge short. You took the time to find the setup, you took the risk, you waited for confirmation, and then you exited early because you couldn't wait for a few more minutes. That's not a strategy problem. That's a patience problem. The market moves on its own schedule, not yours. If you want to grow, you must learn to let it breathe. For patience is a skill, not a personality trait. Many traders say, I'm just not a patient person. But that's not true. Patience isn't something you're born with. It's something you train. It starts with awareness. Every time you feel that urge to click the button early, pause and ask yourself, what's driving this decision? If the answer isn't my plan says so, then you already know it's impatience. Train yourself to wait through discomfort, because discomfort is the price of progress. When you can sit still through boredom, through uncertainty, through hesitation, you're strengthening the same muscle that keeps you consistent. The more you practice patience in small moments, the easier it becomes in big ones. 5. Impatience is the opposite of professionalism. Professional traders don't chase trades, they let trades come to them. They understand that not trading is a position, that waiting is a strategy. When you learn to sit on your hands and let the probabilities align, you move from gambling to trading. Impatience, on the other hand, is what keeps traders in a perpetual state of reaction. Always chasing, always second-guessing, always emotionally exhausted. The pros know something simple. The more you need the market to move now, the less prepared you are for when it finally does. 6. The real secret. Patience compounds. Here's the part that most traders overlook. Patience compounds just like profits. Every time you choose to wait instead of chase, you reinforce your discipline. You reduce emotional fatigue. You improve decision quality. And over time, those micro moments of patience become macro results of consistency. It's the same principle that applies in compounding accounts. Small, repeated acts of restraint build massive results over time. If you want long-term growth in your equity, you need long-term growth in your patience. 7. How to build real patience in practice. Let's make this practical. Start by writing down your ideal setup conditions, not roughly, specifically. Then, track every trade you take that doesn't meet those conditions. At the end of each week, review it honestly. Count how many trades were taken because you felt like it. That's your impatience score. Then, reward yourself for the days you waited and did nothing, because doing nothing is part of the game. And if you can't do nothing, you'll never do something consistently. Final thought. Impatience doesn't just cost you money, it costs you growth. It stops you from mastering discipline, it keeps you trapped in emotional loops, and it blinds you from seeing progress that's already happening. Every great trader you admire learned one thing early on. The market doesn't pay for effort, it pays for patience. So, the next time you feel that urge to jump into a setup that isn't ready, remind yourself that waiting is a trade too. Because in trading, the ones who wait, win. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe.